Welcome everyone to another edition of Willow's Weather Briefing. Today is May 9th, 2025, and we are looking at rainfall over the southeast and also into portions of the northeast and into New England throughout the weekend. We expect excessive rainfall and severe weather to be the focus of today and this weekend throughout the southeast, and mostly just rainfall for the northeast portions of the United States. Alongside this, we are expecting some record warmth in portions of the west and northern plains into the weekend. We can see right now most of the United States is pretty clear, with the exception of, as expected, the northeast with a low pressure system bringing some rainfall into the northeast, and also another low pressure system bringing that Gulf moisture into portions of the southeast. Looking at our fronts and surface low pressures, we can see two distinct low pressures, one in the Delmarva region into the mid-Atlantic, and we can see that it's transporting that Atlantic moisture into the northeast, and also that low pressure system in southern Louisiana transporting that rich Gulf moisture into portions of the southeast. Both low pressure systems will continue to bring rainfall into their respective regions today and into the weekend, especially that southeast system. Looking at our excessive rainfall, we have a marginal risk over the southeast that is expected to bring over 1 inch to much of the southeast and occasional 2 to 3 inches for far southeastern Louisiana into the Florida Panhandle. In New England here, we have a marginal risk. We are expecting about 1 to 2 inches of rain, localized 2+ inches across New England and into the northeast. Tomorrow it's a rinse and repeat. We have a marginal risk in the southeast, additional 1 to 2 inches of rain tomorrow, and an additional inch across New England. On day 3, we have a slight risk in northern Florida and southern Georgia. Widespread totals of a few inches on Sunday with localized totals above 3 inches. Given that the soils are already saturated, this is probably going to cause some flash flooding problems throughout these areas. Day 4, another slight risk across the Atlantic and widespread few inches on Monday, and a continuation of that moisture transport is going to slowly migrate eastward and up the Atlantic coast. And once again, day 5 on Tuesday, that moisture is just going to continue to migrate northward into the mid-Atlantic regions. Looking at our convective weather outlooks, we have a dual slight risk, one of it which is in the East Coast, cities like Jacksonville, Florida, and Orlando. You're in the slight risk. And we also have a slight risk into the Mid-Atlantic regions, cities like Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Virginia. You are in the slight risk. Mainly for wind and hail, primarily wind threat, nothing too significant, but still be weather aware, and today might not be a good day to go outside for these regions given the heavy rainfall as well. Going into day 2, we have a marginal risk across much of Florida and also into the upper northern Rockies into western Montana. Cities like Jacksonville, Tampa, St. Petersburg, you are in this marginal risk. Cities like Missoula, Montana, you're also in this marginal risk. The risk overall is considered to be pretty low, primarily for a wind and hail threat. For day 3, that marginal risk in the northern plains migrates eastward towards eastern Montana into northern plains, and also a widespread marginal risk associated with that Gulf moisture. Sufficient shear and instability is expected in both regions to support severe convective storms. Extended range outlook, predictability too low, but we are expecting a system to migrate its way eastward in the plains. But right now we are unsure about moisture return for that system. Going off to our modeling, we have our 300 millibar height. We could see this area of enhanced flow is going to migrate its way eastward and then impinge enhanced flow into the mid-Atlantic regions, which will enhance your shear and support possible supercells in this area. Not expecting too robust of a system because your instability aloft is kind of lacking. Moving forward, you can see that closed upper level low continuing to bring moisture into our area. Our areas in the southeast. We also have a ridge building, which is going to bring excessive heat into areas such as the desert southwest and the northern plains. Moving forward, we can see that close low is continuing to bring that moisture into the southeast. We can also see a troughing that is possibly going to bring some severe weather into our areas in areas such as the Central Plains, possibly mid next week. Looking at our day 3 to 7 hazards, we can see excessive heat in areas such as the desert southwest. We can also see the heavy rain possible within the southeast and into the mid-Atlantic up towards Delmarva. Our 6 to 10 temperatures, much above average for the eastern United States, associated with that ridging migrating eastward, and below average into the west, associated with that troughing that's going to be occurring. Above average temperatures in southern Texas as well, associated with the advection or movement of a dry desert air mass into that area. 6 to 10 day precipitation above average for much of the United States, specifically in areas such as Wyoming and northeastern Utah, and into the mid-Atlantic regions. Looking at our heat risk, today we have a moderate heat risk all across the desert southwest and into California. Temperatures today in cities such as Riverside, California are expected to get up to 98 to 101 degrees into the Central Valley, which is pretty high for this time of year. Sorry, this is a part of the Central Valley, which makes it especially hot. Tomorrow, that heat is just going to continue to build across Southern California. Tomorrow, cities like Indio, California are expected to get up to 106 degrees Fahrenheit, well over 100 degrees, which is, even though, this is the desert southwest, we typically see high temperatures, it is still much above average for this time of year. Going into Sunday, the heat is going to migrate east. Areas like Phoenix on Sunday are expected to reach well above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. On Monday, the heat is expected to continue to migrate over to areas such as the northern plains. On Sunday, areas like Bismarck are expected to reach over 90 degrees. And on Monday as well, areas like Grand Forks are expected to get into the mid 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is well above average for this time of year. Moving forward into the week, we can see well above average temperatures in areas like Texas, associated with the advection of that dry desert air mass, such as Big Bend. Big Bend is a deserted area, but still well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit is above average for this time of year. Areas like Midland, San Angelo are expected to get almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit next to that dry desert air mass. More widespread heat is expected in Texas towards midweek Wednesday. Areas like Abilene, Texas are expected to get almost to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And that heat is just going to continue migrating a bit eastward as the week goes on. So that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening to my weather briefing. And if you like the video or have any constructive criticisms, please leave a comment, like, and possibly subscribe. If you need any more specific localized coverage of your area, then I implore you to look at your local broadcast or National Weather Service meteorologists. Thank you and have a great day.